already in May.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, I know. Already
It was
May.
just Christmas, I'm pretty sure. I know.
It's already almost the end of the first quarter. Or second quarter. What am I saying? First quarter. No, we're halfway through our second quarter. How's everyone else doing online?
That was good.
Good. A lot of you got to see the place this last weekend during our happy hour. That was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll do those once a month, the brokerage happy hour. Because it'll just be a fun thing for you to bring clients in. I think July is when the Olympics kick off. So I think that's an exporting event.
Oh, cool.
So we'll try to do, if you want to have, just like a coffee. I mean, so I know this real estate group that they're a mentorship group. I mean, they're a pretty big mentorship group. And I haven't heard of a lot of mentors that do a lot of this other than LA. And theirs is, they teach you to connect with as many people as you can. So you should have 2 to 3 coffee appointments a week or lunches with just anyone in your sphere. And so it'd be great to have this place where you can come in, you can say, hey, do you want to grab a drink? And, whenever you're off of work, we're going to put on, the US is playing so-and-so in this
That's
game.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's free to do that for all of you. I mean, so the office, and especially for those watching the recording too, it's totally open for anyone to come in pretty much any time. I'm still working to put the August lock on the front door. I don't know. I think the lock is kind of broken because I can't pop it off.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. So we'll get that eventually, and then you'll just have a phone that you can access. I gotta let go and win in here. Yeah, so we'll have that lock system up here soon. And then, but I mean, if you want to come in, just let me know, because I do have a spare key that I can get you. I did a final signing with a client yesterday in here.
That's awesome.
And it was nice because I felt like they were just so blown away at how nice it looked that you can just, you all as agents too can take pride in having people come here for their signing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because they just sat and they were excited about it. And it
gives them that confidence too of like, money's going to be well spent. I can trust how these people do business.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, especially when if you're asking for a review after too,
right.
And you bring them in here.
Good last impression.
Yeah. And they were moving from Yuba City to Roseville. So then of course it's great too, because they can see what our office is like. And whenever we do events, I can say, hey, feel free to invite anyone else. And you build your sphere from there. We also just got a poker table suite. And so you can do it in here, or you can do it out on the other table once we get an actual table, and I have a whole poker set. So if you want to do, and I'm saying this because I do know a few agents who do just different game nights with their clients, and they can do it at their house, or you can do it here. It's totally up to you. I think people, when they see the nice place, they're going to be a little more respectful, no smoking. But it's a great way just to build relationships with people, because I don't know how many different groups I'm a part of. Everyone is saying the same thing. It's all about relationships. I'm a part of a real estate investor group, and a lot of them, this guy came on and he did this like a little thing about how he raised a bunch of money for like 2 different projects. And people said, well, how did you raise that? And he said, well, with our investors that invest in our funds, I just build relationships. I pick a day and I reserve a tea time for 8 of us or however many go golfing, 4 of us to go golfing. And then I'll do the next day as well. But I just build relationships with people. So, when they look at me for advice, like they just know me and already trust me, because it's hard. I mean, especially anything in real estate, whether you're investing or buying your first house, it's definitely something that you need to feel like you can trust that person. And that's why I always say it's great to work leads, sure. But when someone looks at you as that professional and they already know you, they're going to lean on whatever you recommend. Versus leads, it's like you're really quickly trying to earn that trust. And it can happen, but it's not the end all be all. Yeah. So
that's good.
lots of ideas out there. We're always open. If anyone has an idea of, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Put it on Discord. I'm sure there's someone who's willing to join you.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about, hey, like we have Paula is going to be joining here soon. She's wanting to go to Denios. She's fluent in Spanish, and so she wants to serve that community and pass out flyers at Denios. So she can always spitball ideas with us or with anyone else. How do you get people's attention? What do you offer them? What do you get when they come to your booth? What are you giving to them that's of value? Buy or renovate before you sell, flyers. Are you doing like our next community event? Whatever it might be, just some, down payment information about down payment assistance programs, whatever stuff. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We've been kind of farming our neighborhood, and so I set up quarterly events, and so we did a family kickball game.
I saw that.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And we had 100 people show up, and so we invited
100 people.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I don't think we've had 100 people other than our Easter egg hunt, but yeah.
And we
Nice.
had given flyers to every family by hand with our kids, and so we had 100 people. And then on 4th of July, we're doing a pancake
And you use your
parade.
kids to pass out flyers.
Yep. And then we invited like people from their sports teams and stuff. So we're gonna do
Yeah.
4th of July, and then we do a driveway party on Halloween.
Okay.
And then we
Awesome.
do a Christmas party. And so we've been doing it for 3 years, but
Yeah.
now we're just more intentional about it.
For sure.
So I put it on Nextdoor, did Eventbrite, Facebook, Instagram, and it's been really fun.
See?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that before?
Yes, but now we're just being more intentional. Like we're
Okay.
focusing on our neighborhood, like
Yeah.
knowing what the streets are and
Yeah.
where they're zoned to, and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So I have something to talk about. like
Yeah.
that.
And then it seems like probably with each event, you start meeting people.
Yes, and then
over
maybe
and
like
over.
this is really cool. What's the motive? Or like just want to meet neighbors.
Yeah.
And
That's
then they
so cool.
invite people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people will eventually ask, what do you do? And then you can always.
Right. And
you
the
know.
goal is for us getting them in our home because my husband renovates our homes.
Yeah.
And then once they get in our home, like, what do you guys do? And then we can share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like
for
it.
Christmas time. Yeah. So it's fun.
I like it.
And family kickball is free.
That sounds
Yeah.
super fun.
I mean, it was
too.
like $30 for us to get everything.
I mean,
and-
all of this is always just keep the cost as low as possible.
Right. And people don't care. They just want to come to something fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they don't mind shipping in either.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah. Even for the pancakes thing in July
I mean, if
4th.
you organize it,
I create a sign up genius, and I was like, if you're interested, here's a QR code. Just sign, and people sign up to bring thing. They want to
sign up
participate.
genius. Okay.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep, and it's just a free sign up sheet. And then when the orange juice, 2 gallons of orange juice slot is taken, it just says spot is filled. Move on to the next one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. I like the idea of having them be more involved too.
Because
So
then
it's
there's
not just
ownership
like,
of the event.
Yeah.
Or can I give you 20 flyers and you pass them out to your friends? And they love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not like sponsored by, it's just come meet your neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really the point of a lot. I mean, of course, you want to remind people of what you do, but like you said, if you got to be intentional too. Like if your goal is to
Right.
get them in the house because they're going to ask,
Yep.
what do you do?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to invest in them before that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like all my neighbors, we always talk, and finally someone's like, wait, what do you do again?
Right.
You know?
Because they build trust, and trust sells.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when they just naturally ask that, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's organic.
Yeah, it's
It's not
organic. They gave
scripted.
you permission to share everything.
And
you
they're
know?
already bought in. 'Cause they
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I like
Please.
it.
Take them and run.
Yeah. So we have lots of ideas. I think everyone's mission, especially just in spring as they're going, is just figuring out your game plan of what you can reasonably do with your own time and your own experience. I mean, everyone's different. How do you free up time in order to do this kind of stuff? Right. Some people are just so dang busy. Well, how do you, like, if you're too busy, use the events we already do.
Yep.
Right. Because then it's just going to be a way for you to still connect with people without having to plan it all out.
Yep.
But just try to make your game plan, figure out, for all the new agents who always join, you got to do a handful of things to figure out what really works. Like Chase has been killing it with TikTok videos, keeps having them go viral and picking up clients left and right. So actually tomorrow's workshop is going to be, I'm going to try to record it, but we're going to do and play around with the media room and recording videos. So we have those really nice microphones. I've got adapters where you can connect them into your phone. So that way you can just have your phone right here with the nice camera, right? Because I've been using a few other things to record videos. My phone has the best camera.
It does. Well, and it
But
has
the
three
sound
lenses.
quality needs to be
The 3 lenses though, my
Yeah.
husband as a photographer was telling me this is way better than a lot of the DSLRs out there.
Yeah.
So,
And don't do it like this, right?
Pardon?
With this, it's got to be the back
I know,
end.
I'll
But
just get to-
we'll do that tomorrow during tomorrow's workshop. So if anyone's able to come in person, I think that's going to be huge. We'll even record some videos for you, show you how to edit them. Chase, if he's awake, he can give his 2 cents. If he's awake at that time.
I'm awake right now.
Yeah. Also, congrats to Chase. So this goes to my next point. So congrats to Chase. He just closed a really tough deal. His first listing.
Good
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
Awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
His first investor client, a flipper, earned his business. One of the ways of buying a listing is you just take a huge price reduction on the commission, but you're earning that person's
Yep.
business. And I know a lot of people who do it who are really successful, and you show them what your worth is, even though in the moment he's like, hey, I'm only making like $1,500,
Yeah.
and it was not easy.
Yeah.
You still, he showed
Right.
his worth.
Mhm.
My other point to make is, with this industry, things are going to get really tough, right? And you're going to feel really frustrated. It's the growing pains of being self-employed,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Things are tough and things get really hard. You're going to get to a point where you got to look at things and just forget about it and move on to something else. And it's always your perspective.
Mhm.
And so find the perspective that works for you. I know people who say, okay, that deal was really tough, but I just made $10,000. I put about 10 hours into that deal when I did the math. That is Adrian and Olga. And he's like, I just made $1,000 an hour. And that like justifies
Right.
the stress of it.
Absolutely.
I'm the type that I also look at things. My perspective is, man, that was tough.
Mhm.
I know so many people who would quit the industry because that was tough. And I know that they're going to eventually experience a deal where they quit the industry. Not like I want people to quit the industry, but at the end of the day, I know that if I'm willing to do what others won't,
Yeah.
I will live a life that others can't.
Yeah.
I remembered it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's a bumper sticker somewhere.
I remember getting like just destroyed in the military during this workout. And this guy's like, we will do what others won't. So tomorrow we can do what others can't. I'm like, oh, I like
I
it.
need a tattoo of that.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I just got motivated. Even though
Yeah.
you're kicking sand in my face.
Yeah.
But, so I mean, just try to create that perspective, right? Things were pretty tough with Chase. The other thing you got to remember is at some point it's above your pay grade or it's past it, like stop worrying about it. People are in the situation they're in for their own reason. Your job is not to fix every single problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So Chase has a seller who had an appraiser who probably told him the property was worth more than it really was. You had a buyer who had no money and is trying to buy a house and needed a credit, had to do a price reduction to afford it, all this stuff. So house under appraises, everyone's screwed, right? So Chase has to go and tell, Chase keeps calling me and he's stressed because his seller's not getting it, that, you can go back on the market, but this is an FHA appraisal. It stays with the house. We're looking at the comps and I'm telling you, I from the beginning that I didn't think this was the value. He's like, well, what do I do? And it's like, well, tell him that. He goes, I did. Then move on, and so Chase did.
Right.
And the thing that happens is Chase told him, listen, here are the facts. Make your decision. I stand by you, whatever you want to do. But here are the facts. Here's what I think. You can make your decision. Waited. The guy said, you know what? You're right. Chase calls me. He's like, okay, the dang buyers, they will not come up with the money to cover the gap. They still need that credit. I've given them so many options. I'm like, then move on.
Mhm.
You've done your job. You told the lender that they should restructure the loan or chip in money. You've told the agent that they should chip in money or have the buyer ask family members. Just tell them you're going to cancel if they can't remove the credit and wait. What happened? They came back and said, we found a way. Huh, magic that. Lender decided to restructure the loan.
Yep.
Agents chipping in $2,000. They got another couple grand from their family. We're good to go. So there's value a lot of times in having that perspective of, okay, I can only do as much as I can. It's their decision after that. I'm moving on to my next deal.
Mhm.
Because I think also when you give people that advice, they perceive it differently and they're more likely to take that advice.
Mhm.
That's why you want to get multiple deals in contract, because every time I remember my first time I had more than one deal in contract, I had 3. And one client was the bane of my existence, and they drove me crazy. And she had like a ghost meter that would go off in these houses. Oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. And I mean, just like, but then they were looking at houses that were just, I didn't blame them for wanting to ask for everything to be fixed, but at the same time, it was not realistic.
Yeah.
But I had 2 other deals with clients that I absolutely loved. One was for $1 million. One was like 300,000, but I was making just so much more. I was making like 20, 30,000 off those 2. I'm like, hey, listen, I think they said that they're going to agree to half of your list, take it or leave it. Otherwise, we're going to have to go back to looking at houses again. You're going to have to fly back out here from LA, and the cost of that. I mean, that's a lot of money. I would just move on and just, find a way to fix some of this stuff yourself, because whatever. And I just let it be. I talked to them differently because I had the other deals. And I know everyone's like, well, of course I want to have multiple deals. But you can have that perspective when you only have one deal of, listen, this isn't going to be my only deal that pays all my bills. I'm going to get more deals. Mm-hmm. It's not the starving mentality. I need to just tell them what they need to hear, say that I support whatever decision they want to make, and then move on to the next thing, because they're more likely to listen to you, right? Mm-hmm. So, because it's easy to get caught up in the frustration. And I remember, I hate sayings, but it kind of makes sense. People say you're only frustrated because people are doing what you don't want them to do. And it's like, yeah, I mean, just situations are not working out the way you want. That's why you're frustrated. So focus on what you can control. The harder it is, the more likely you're going to have less competition. And just the more likely that it is that you're going to succeed more, right? Yeah. Just a little motivation as we are halfway through the second quarter. Right?
Right. I don't know.
Very good.
May.
Yeah, actually.
May 1st. Yeah.
May 1st. Yeah.
April.
So we've got lots of people showing houses, a lot of people working with different buyers. I think we got a couple people doing over $2 million listing presentation today. I'm here to work with anyone who needs help with anything. I mean, just call me. If you say, hey, I got this high-end listing coming up and I don't have a really nice listing agreement, let's sit down and make just a super nice one. Well, I'll stay up late and order the books for you. So Adrian and Olga have a really good one coming up, and they've got this like almost like a hardcover magazine. We ran over all the scenarios. We ran over like, what if they say this? What if they say this? And so I feel that they're the most prepared. And I mean, it's all the facts that came in. Mary was here. She kind of helped out with a few other ideas. So we're all here to be collaborative. Feel free to reach out, even if it's just like, hey, I've got this buyer. This is what they're looking for. Can't find it. What should I do? Right. So we're here to help. So yeah.
Great.
It's about that. We don't have our next event planned. I'm going to plan our next investor seminar partway through May. Mary and I are going to be leaving at the end of May. So I'm hoping to have the locks set up before then so you all can access it. We'll be at UWM in Michigan. I think it's like the last week of May. Otherwise, yeah, we'll be planning our next brokerage happy hour, our next event. We've just finally got the office set up, but feel free to I think now is great, even if we don't have an event, just to touch base with your past clients or anyone in your sphere and just say, hey, the real estate brokerage I worked for, we just got this new office. It's all set up. It is sweet. Like, not to sound like a kid, but it is sweet and awesome. I'd love for you to come and check it out. We can grab a drink or coffee and just hang out and catch up. And even if people are like, oh yeah, maybe sometime, at least you're reminding them that you're in real estate. The last thing you want to do is hear, oh, are you still in real estate? I mean, people are still going to do it even if you've been inviting them to things. I don't know why, but yeah. And then, just to recap. So tomorrow we're going to do TikTok videos and show everyone how to use the media room and all the different light fixtures and stuff to make it look really cool. So it'll be fun, but it'll make it look nice.
Mhm.
Or we've found ways to make it look nice and sound nice.
I was gonna add
Yeah.
a lender thing if that's.
Yeah, go for it.
So I wanted to mention, and I'm mentioning this for a few reasons, but so another way to kind of think outside of the box and how we can get more clients and get more things moving just all around. So like Chase, for example, there's a one-time close construction deal, which can be used for a primary residence, secondary residence, or an investment property. So if you're working with an investor, this might be an interesting option for them as well. So if you find a property, want to build the house, sell it after, I kind of have to look at like the numbers of how they value the construction part of that, but that could be a potential thing to help your investor clients grow their business. You get more business from them. I mean, it's a longer term play, but it exists.
Builder clients.
Builder clients, or clients who are looking at new construction, but maybe they're like, dang, these lots are so small, or, you know, there's things, this is my price range, but it's not the area that I want, or just get creative in helping people find solutions for, there's things that exist and programs that exist that are outside of the box. We don't have to just sell real estate that's already on the market. Another thing, ADUs, people have the option to, I mean, I guess it's probably less for the agents, but there's just a million ways
No,
that
yeah, if
give
you
people the house hack, right?
if you have a client that wants 2 houses on one lot, and it happens somewhat often, you can purchase a house and the same loan, the same mortgage, it's not 2 different mortgages, can also finance the construction of a second home or ADU, a tiny home, whatever you want it to be. There's that as an option. Her other one that she was saying, the thing, if I were to buy land in the past, because I had clients do this, you have to get a loan for the land. It's a minimum of 30% down with pretty much every single lender. Plus you have to pay for the appraisal. Then I have to get the loan for the construction. That's another down payment. I have to get another appraisal. Once it's all built, then I have to refinance it to a traditional mortgage. Once again, not another down payment, but another appraisal. With this, it's all in one. It's streamlined. The nice thing for the builders is they're guaranteed their money.
Yeah. And it's not like it's the easiest of easy solutions, but it's like, it is a solution. And if you work with a team who's going to help as much as possible, it's going to be as easy as it can be.
Yeah.
So for example, and staying positive as well, I really struggle with this, and Cameron can attest to this. I called him yesterday, just like really angry. Yeah, just stick with it. And like, even having you here today, like lean on each other, because we all have different strengths, right? So I'm thinking maybe I'm not the best at coming up with ideas for events, but like you've done it, you have experience, or, you know, like we each have our different strengths, and I feel like we're all kind of here to help each other grow. So don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to say what you're good at and what you offer, and just lean on each other for that, because it is tough. And it's like, I want to grow business.
Yeah.
I want you to grow business. I want you to grow business.
Amen.
Yeah.
I want more people to have houses.
I guess. Yeah, so there's lots going on. If anyone has any questions for anything, otherwise, hope to see as many people or anyone watching the recording wants to come by the office. I'm typically here like 7 a.m. till maybe 3-ish. But we did finally get the code set up for the main doors so that everyone will get that code. It's 01310. Long story why. But and then I'll get the August lock set up at some point. But if you need to access the office at any point, just call me, and I have an extra key for you too. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. Hopefully we'll see a lot of you tomorrow.
Stay positive.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Don't give up.
Thanks, you guys. Good meeting. Thanks.
Tomorrow will be here.
Bye.
Cameron.
That's a great